I've been having one DM in particular come in with higher frequency that I've ever gotten before in my entire life. And the question was something along the lines of, what is the one most important thing about how to actually make viral shorts?
For context, Trevor is the owner of these two Clips channels, his oldest one having 246 million views, and his gaming one getting 362 million views.
I'm going to give you guys all the secrets. But the way that I'm going to do this first, I'm going to start by saying, number one, do you just want a short to go viral? Do you want to experience the dopamine of just having a short go viral? I'm going to tell you what I think is the easiest possible way you can do that. Genuinely. Anybody could do this. I have 7 videos that I'm going to show you, and each of the videos are going to they go from easiest way to blow up a short to hardest way to blow up a short. Okay? And to be honest, even the hardest way isn't even that hard, but we're going from easiest to hardest. The very first thing you have to do, step one, the very first thing you have to do is you have to decide what it is that you want to talk about. Is there something interesting you want to talk about? Do you think something's really interesting? Do your eyes light up when you start talking about something in particular? Think about that. I want you to think about that first. But the number one most important thing that you have to do to make sure that a short goes viral is think about how to frame what you think is interesting in a way that makes other people interested, or challenges their intellect, or hooks anyone into caring about what you care about. And that's the hard part. Okay, that's the hard part. The first one is this. Now, I knew, so this short got 10.5 million views. I knew that I just wanted to recap a twist story of Futurama. So if anyone doesn't know, at Trevor Treeforts was technically like the 4th channel I ever made, but it was the first channel that I've ever made that I ever made money off of. And I primarily only used to talk about Futurama episodes. But the thing is you can't just, you can just start telling the story of the entire episode and still do well. But if you hook someone really, really well first and then tell the story, it works perfectly. So how can I get people that maybe haven't even seen Futurama to care about watching this short? It's by hooking them instantly in the beginning of the short. Listen to what I do here. In almost all of the highest rated Futurama episodes, the writers spend the entire time making you believe something and then shatter those expectations at the end. But what's the oldest example of this? Well, now, I used to script every single one of these. So you can see, I actually have, the video starts in the middle of the paragraph, or in the middle of the second sentence of the paragraph. In almost all of the highest rated Futurama episodes, the writers spend the entire time making you believe something and then shatter those expectations at the end. Instantaneously, I'm setting up the idea that in Futurama, the writers will make you believe something and then shatter your expectations at the end. So the first thing that a viewer is thinking is, okay, how do they do that? And what does it look like to have my expectation shatters? And then not only that, but I say, but what's the oldest example of this? So how many loops did I just open in a viewer's mind right there? I opened like 3 loops. What does that look like to have your expectation shattered? How do they make you believe something and then shatter it? And then, yeah, what is the oldest example of this? And then I just start telling the story. If you want to have a short go viral, you need to have some sort of good story. But the thing is, the reason why I've chosen this to be the easiest example that I can possibly give you guys is because the writers of the show already did the hard part. They already wrote the story. They've already wrote the story and it already did incredibly well. So I'm literally just summarizing what happened in the episode. And then I literally just recap the entire story, the entire episode. In the 3rd episode of season 1, Bender and Fry decide to become roommates. And okay, I'm not going to play this, but let's just go to the end. So the big twist happens, Futurama spoiler, the big twist happens, and just watch what I do at the end to make it kind of a seamless transition. Ready? And reveals a huge livable space that's been there the entire time, which Fry happily decides to move into. These types of plot twists are basically Futurama's signature. In fact, in almost all of the highest rated Futurama episodes, the writers spend the entire time making... That loop is insane! Again, what's the key takeaway? If I'm not being clear enough, what's the key takeaway? The key takeaway is, I had an idea. The idea was that I wanted to talk about this Futurama episode. I wanted to tell the story of the Futurama episode. But I can't just do that. You can, but you're not going to get as many views. What is the important part that I'm doing in the very, very beginning? I'm finding a way to create a bunch of unanswered loops in a viewer's mind to make them want to watch until the payoff. And in this case, as soon as the payoff comes, it loops back to the beginning immediately. So it's almost like you can just keep watching over and over and over again. Okay? That's the first example. Now, let's say you didn't want to do that. Well, let's take a look at a video that got 8 million views. Now, guys, arguably, this is, I think, top 5, easily in the top 5 videos that I'm most proud of. And you'll see why in a second. But I want you guys to think about this. The thing that I want to talk about is how electrons exist. How do electrons actually exist in an atom? That is boring as fuck if you don't care about science and you don't care about atoms and you don't care about any of that stuff, right? That is, people will hear the word science and just swipe away because they hate it. So how can I get someone interested in learning about science without even necessarily them realizing that they're learning about science? Here's what I chose to hook people for an electron.
Every so often, Futurama will sprinkle in jokes to remind you they're the most overeducated writing staff in cartoon history. Take this clip, for example.
And it's a dead heat.
I wanted to talk about electrons, but because this is a Futurama channel, I had to relate it to Futurama. So that's the thing. Like, every so often, this writing staff likes to remind us that they're really fucking smart, basically, is what I said. So the first thing that I'm creating is a loop. How do the writers let us know sometimes that they're super fucking smart? The joke, if you've made it past the intro, you're going to make it to this. And I even have a little retention hack here of explanation to clip with a little loading bar.
Checking the electron microscope, and the winner is number 3 in a quantum finish.
No fair! You change the outcome by measuring it.
According to quantum...
Right there. Right there. That joke... okay, to be honest, that joke is not super smart, but I genuinely think it is super interesting how electrons behave, and that's what I wanted to talk about. So the fact that there's a Futurama clip that hints at what I want to talk about was a no-brainer that I would have to use it. And then I go into explaining, like, I go into the thing that I actually care about. But I've done 17 to 18 seconds of making as many people as possible care about the thing that I want to talk about. It's so important to do that. And it's like, it's happening right away.
Quantum mechanics. Subatomic particles like electrons don't exist in a single location. They can be in several different places at once. So if you were an electron, most of the time you would literally look like this. That is, until someone actually checks to see where you are. At which point, the mere fact that a measurement of your location took place would force you to only exist in one of those states. And the state you ended up in would be by chance. This means that if they were truly measuring the finish based on the electrons at the tip of each horse's nose, it truly was up to chance which horse won.
God, I fucking love this short, honestly. Guys, and okay, listen, I'm not self-glazing, okay? I'm not self-glazing. I'm just really proud of this short. This was the intro to it. Every so often, Futurama will sprinkle in jokes to remind you that the most overeducated writing staff in cartoon history. Take this clip, for example. Again, guys, the point is, what's the number one thing? You right? The person who DM'd me asked for the number one thing. What's the number one thing you need to do to make sure that a short goes viral? You don't just have to tell a good story. You do have to do that, but you don't just have to tell a good story. You have to hook someone immediately to care about the thing that you want to talk about. And so that's sometimes the hard part is creatively coming up with a way to do that. If you want people to care about the things you want to talk about, you have to make them care about the things you want to talk about. This is the last example before we go into gaming clips specifically. So if you're someone who's trying to be a streamer, you're trying to make gaming clips, and you want to know specifically my philosophy for how to make gaming clips go viral, or how to have the highest chance for your gaming clips to go viral, we will talk about that. This will be the last case. But just keep in mind, okay? Keep in mind, the thing that I wanted to talk about in this clip, okay, to be honest, this clip is so fucking dumb. Like, this clip is actually so fucking stupid. But I was already at a point in my shorts making career where I was just really, really good at writing scripts. So this got almost 7 million views. But I wanted to talk about how I have a really irrational fear, me personally. Anybody could do exactly what I'm doing. The shorts algorithm does not fucking care how many subscribers you have. I promise you that. Anyone can go viral. Anybody. The thing that I wanted to talk about was that I had a weird fear. So number one, no one gives a shit about me. And no one gives a shit about you. If you're scrolling on your shorts and you see a random person, no one gives a fuck about you. Okay? So if you want to talk about a weird fear that you have, if you want to talk about something special that's happened to you, I promise you, no one cares. Nobody. How would you hook them? This is how I hooked them. And I think you'll understand really quickly, this was the way to go.
What's the weirdest fear anyone has? I think I found it. But let's look at a couple examples first. Dentophobia is the fear of dentists. Trypophobia is the fear of clusters of small holes. And while these are all certainly weird, they don't even come close to the weirdest fear. Have you heard of
Okay, so the fear that I talk about is
Wii Sports announceophobia? The fear of the Wii Sports.
This doesn't fucking exist. Okay? Wii Sports announceophobia does not exist. I made it up. But I made it up to sound real. And you'll notice so far, except for this one line of because I had it.
A couple examples. I think I found it. But let's look at a couple examples first.
Wait. Sorry, I haven't even talked about myself yet. Wow, I did a great job. I didn't even talk about myself yet. I talk about myself right after this.
Wii Sports announceophobia, the fear of the Wii Sports announcer. What would that even look like? Well, I'll explain it to you because I had it.
Bro, how many mini hooks is in this clip? Seriously. Like, just look at this. What's the weirdest fear anyone can have? That is a super engaging question. I immediately open a loop. Yeah, what is the weirdest fear? Like, this is my impression of a viewer watching. Yeah, wait a minute. What is the weirdest fear? I think he's going to tell me. I think he's going to tell me what the weirdest fear is. Well, I think I found it, but let me give you a couple examples first. And then I start, like, giving examples in case there's any confusion on what I mean about the weirdest fear. I start giving examples of, like, weird, unique, rare fears, right? So then, like, every fear that I introduce, not only is, like, is the viewer like, yeah, that is kind of weird, or yeah, that is kind of rare. They're thinking, oh my God, and this fear that he's going to talk about is even weirder than this. You know what I mean? So, you know what I mean? Okay, let's just watch this short because I want you guys to see. To be honest, this is the dumbest fucking video I've ever made that's gotten a bunch of views, but
99.9% of the time, I have no problem with the Wii Sports announcer. But there's one single voice line he does that's different from the rest. And it happens during the most demonic of the 5 games, Wii Baseball. If you happen to hit the ball well enough, as many of you know, you hear this.
Home run!
However, when you hit the ball near perfectly, the organ player loses his mind. And the Wii Sports announcer finally snaps and delivers this line that has scarred me since I was 11.
It's out of the park!
The way he screams the line just caught me off guard as a kid. I do not know why. But at least now there's an answer to what's the weird
W loop. Guys, that's the entire video. The entire video is me saying, hey guys, I used to be scared of that line, it's out of the park, when I was really young. When I was a kid, I used to be scared of the Wii Sports announcer saying it's out of the park. That's the entire video. But like 7 million views. 7 million views for I was scared of the Wii Sports announcer when I was a kid. 7 million views. Me getting a whole bunch of views on this video did not happen by accident. It was very deliberate. It was very deliberate and very calculated, honestly. Anyway, guys, back to what we were talking about. If you want to be a streamer and you don't give a shit about writing your own videos and you don't give a shit about creating videos necessarily out of your own or volition and your own ideas, if you only want to clip up your gaming content, what's the number one most important thing that you can do to hook people's attention? I would consider making people care about your gaming clips harder than caring about a random fact, because then they by watching your video, they have to care about your reaction. And getting someone to care about your reaction is super fucking hard, because remember, no one gives a shit about you. If they're scrolling on their shorts feed and they see a person they don't know, no one cares about you. Genuinely. I'm not even being harsh. I'm being realistic. Well, guys, the way to get people to care about your gaming clips, you can do one of two things. We're going to talk about the easiest thing first, and then we're going to talk about the hardest thing in order. So this is harder than anything we've seen before, but if you have a funny moment on your stream and you want to clip it up and you want to make people care about it, you can write an intro. You can write an intro for your clip to appeal to as many people as possible. Take this clip that I made that got 16.5 million views. Not only do I think the clip that you're going to see in this video is funny, but I also deliberately wrote a short, like an intro of dialogue to hook as many people as possible. Not only people that just care about Mario Kart, not only people that know about Nintendo, as many people as possible. And how do you think I did it? The clip is this. So why don't we just skip the beginning part? Let's just skip the beginning part and just look at the clip. I can't even pull an item. I got a double coin. That's not even possible. It's only possible if the lobby is lagging. Maybe I get double. I got double coin. I was like in 7th. I got double coin. 8th. Double coin in 8th. Nintendo. Okay. Now, that was the clip. I also needed to really go try hard with this because I wanted this channel to become monetized as quickly as possible. And you need 10 million views on shorts to make your channel be monetized in 90 days. So I really fucking locked in and was like, I need to make, I think this clip is really funny. I need to make it appeal to as many people as possible. And it did, it worked. This video alone monetized my channel, which was really cool. This is what I did and this is what you can do. The point is, don't think about what I chose. The point is that I had to think about a way to hook people as fast as possible and reach as wide of an audience as possible to make them care about watching my gaming clip. This is what I chose.
Nintendo throws all the rules out the window when the game starts to lag. For example, in Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, it's impossible to get 2 coins from a double item box. And unless the race has just started, if you're in 3rd place or lower, the game will never give you even a single coin. But if you're playing online and the lobby is lagging, this can happen.
Bro, okay, guys, okay, again, I'm not trying to self-glaze here, okay? I'm not trying to self-glaze. But this is such a good intro. Nintendo throws all the rules out the window when the game starts to lag. What's the loop that I opened? What's the unanswered loop that I opened in a viewer's eyes? What is he going to talk about that happens with Nintendo servers when the game starts to lag? What does he mean by all the rules get thrown out the window? What is he going to show me? Well, I give context. First, I give context for the clip, because you might not understand that the clip is funny if you don't know that a double coin is not possible unless the lobby is lagging. And then I finish it by saying, but if you're playing online and the lobby is lagging, this can happen. So if you've made it to this point in the short, you're going to watch to the end. You can't swipe away. You literally cannot swipe away if you've made it to this part in the short, because it's too interesting. You know what I mean? It's too engaging. You have to see what happens. And you'll notice that I have no other scripts to talk about up here. There's not a single other script open, because at this point I can just write an intro without writing it down. Like I just know what has to happen. So I just want to show you one more clip, okay? There's one more clip that I want to talk about. For Baldi's Basics, this got 3.2 million views. I released this at the end of last year. This got 3.2 million views, which is it's not like 16 million, but it's still a lot of views. Let me show you the clip first, and then I want you to tell me how. I want you to think about how you would show this clip. This is the entire clip is like the entire clip is like 2 seconds. Watch this. What? It's just this. That's the entire clip, and then the short starts over. I don't know if you guys know this, but the reason why I knew this was interesting was because I looked over at chat, and a lot of you guys were like, question mark, exclamation mark, question mark, exclamation mark, question mark, exclamation mark. And I think NarcoSox said, I've never seen that screen before. So I remember that happening, first off, that this end screen was rare and weird. Okay? I wanted to talk about this, and I wanted to show this clip, but I knew that I needed to hook as many people as possible. So how do you do this? This is what I decided to do.
Did you know in Baldi's Basics there's a secret screen you can see after getting caught? And it is pure nightmare fuel. Most of the time after Baldi catches you, you'll see this. And that's totally normal. However, if you get unlucky enough, sometimes you'll see this.
What?
Did you know?
So I'm basically, honestly, what I'm doing is I'm basically stealing Zach D. Films scripts. You guys know Zach D. Films. If everyone in the world cut off their toenails and threw it into the ocean, you might think it would create a toenail island. But toenails actually are not dense enough to float. Like you can say what you want about Zach D. Films, but he's got like 30 million subscribers and billions and billions of views. So I'm essentially just kind of like taking from that script. But that's how I hooked someone. Right away, what's the hook? Immediately, you open the loop. What's the secret screen? No, I didn't know that. Wait, or like if you're an elitist, if you're a type A chatter, you'd be like, I know everything about Baldi's Basics, but what's he going to talk about? Because I do already know. You know what I mean? So I'm hooking like everyone that cares about Baldi's Basics. I'm hooking everybody. Guys, let's get to the hardest part. Let's say, what happens if you don't think that you can write an intro? Let's say if you're not confident in your abilities to write an intro to appeal to as many people as possible. What if you're not confident about that? What if you're not confident in your skills to do that? What if you don't want to write an intro and you just want to show a gaming clip? What do you have to do then? Well, guys, let's talk about one clip in particular that means a lot to me. And the clip in particular that I want to talk about, and that you guys are probably very familiar with, is this. All right, guys, you know what time it is. Okay, now, I had somebody DM me specifically asking how it is that I clip up my videos from my VODs. They said, do you just go back and watch all of your videos? Yes. If I were doing this, I literally just do this. Watch, I'm not joking. If you want to see what it looks like when I'm offline and I'm editing, seriously, if you guys want to learn a little bit about me and I'm not recording, this is genuinely what I do. I put it in 2x speed and I just do this. I'm just like watching the video like this. Okay, I'm gonna go find my dad. Specifically because I've already seen the show.
What was that?
Guys, what was that? Legitimately, that's how I get all of my views. Now, this works. You wanna know how I know this works? Because I get just by doing that, I get 15 clips per Silksong VOD. Literally 15. Me doing that is paying my rent. Do you see what I'm saying? But the thing that I want to highlight specifically is when you are making your short, if you don't want to write an intro, when you are making your gaming short, and you want it to have as high a chance of going viral as possible. When you are doing that, you have to know how to start your short. Because even though you're not going to write a script to appeal to as many people as possible, you still have to find an intro and make and edit an intro that hooks as many people as possible, even if they don't know what you're talking about. Okay? So when I'm watching this and I'm going here and I'm clipping up this footage, right now we are in pretty good order right now. I have to decide where I'm going to start the short. Okay? Now, I want you guys to just think about this. So far, we've had the wheel landing on it. I have footage of the wheel landing on the achievement. I have footage of me booting up Outer Wilds and doing this. It's times like these when Granny used to tell me. And they're rolling. I'm singing, I'm launching my ship.
Well, she'll be coming around the mountain when she comes. She'll be coming around the mountain when she comes. She'll be coming around the mountain. She'll be coming around the mountain. She'll be coming around the mountain when she comes.
Okay? That's the point. The point is that the point that I'm trying to tell you guys is no one's going to be there to tell you what to choose for your intro. You have to decide what your intro is going to be first. And you really need to think about, okay, what do I want the first second of my short to be? There's a lot of contenders. And every single fucking time you make a clip, there's going to be like 7 different fucking moments that you have to choose between. But you have to decide what's the best. What's the thing that's going to appeal to as many people as possible, hook as many people's attention as possible, and keep people sticking around until the end.
Come on, there it is, guys. There she blows. Well, shit.
Right there. There it is, guys. There she blows. That, possible contender, right? Possible contender.
We'll be riding 6 white... Oh my God, wait, hang on. This is going a lot faster than me. 6 white horses when she comes. Oh my God. No, not again. How'd this happen?
Right, so that was a possible contender, but I think the next one that actually happens is around about 22 minutes, I think. Oh, here it is. Okay. So, take a look at this. Then eventually we get to this part of the short.
Right there. Guys, this is not a drill. This is not a drill. I'm being 100% serious.
Okay. But keep in mind, like, I just want you guys to look at this. Like, I just want you to look at this. The footage that I'm choosing from is from 2 hours and 1 minute to essentially now, 2 hours and 9 minutes. So there's 8 minutes of footage that I potentially could have started the short with. But where did I choose to start the short from? Because even if you're too lazy, or even if you are not confident in writing a scripted intro for your clips and you only want your videos to blow up from your actual gaming clips, let's see how I started this short. Where did I start the short? How did I do this? So this one got 11 million views. And I thought everyone had seen this clip that at least watches my stream, but apparently not. So let's take a look at this. Here we go.
Right there. Guys, this is not a drill. This is not a...
Did you notice that? It happens super fast.
Right there. Guys, this is not a drill. This is not a...
Do you see what I did there? I chose to start the short by me saying, right there, there's this thing. Like, you can see we're orbiting a sun.
Right there.
There's this thing. So even if someone's never played Outer Wilds, and even if they don't care about playing Outer Wilds and have never played this game, which, by the way, a lot of people in the comments had not, if you see something orbiting around a sun, and I'm going, and you can hear me verbally saying, right there. Like, immediately you're like, wait, what is that thing? What is that thing and what does it do? And I always, in every single one of my videos, I have this text here. I've never seen a video capture the feeling of flying into the sun station this perfectly. So it's like, it's just like an extra layer of engagement. You know what I mean? But it was so important that I started this short right here, and then...
Guys, this is not a drill. This is...
Instantly cut from this is not a drill to being closer to the sun station. So far we're like 2.5 or 3 seconds into the short, and look at how much stuff I've done for retention alone and to hook people. You know what I mean?
Bing, bing. Guys, sing it with me. Bong, bing, bing.
How many seconds did it take for the first bing?
Bing.
5 seconds and I'm already bing, bing, bonging.
Bing, bing. Guys, sing it with me. Bong, bing, bing.
And then I have you guys. By the way, this is every single time chat is typing something that goes along with what's happening in the moment. I literally think in my head, you guys are goated because this is phenomenal B-roll footage. You guys doing like these little emotes, the Pepo JS and the Jamg guitar time and all that. It's so good for B-roll footage.
Bing, 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 bong. Bing, bing, bong. Bing, 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 bong.
Now, this is a little bit more advanced. But I think you guys will be able to understand this no problem. You'll notice every time you're making a short, you have to think to yourself, would a viewer potentially think the video is over at this moment? Would they think that the payoff has already happened? And right now I've landed on the thing so I was talking about this thing in the beginning of the short, right? Right there, guys.
Guys, this...
Right? And then I land on this thing. I don't want someone to think that the short is over and that the payoff has already happened. You know what I mean? You can't let a viewer think that even for a second, because if they think that, they're going to swipe away. So I needed to do two things. Number one, I needed to cut right away to me being like, okay, guys, what do I do? What do I do? And so I do that. And then number two, you'll see what I do.
Okay, how do I actually keep myself from flinging off? You need to...
Do you see how quickly I did that? Do you see how quickly I opened a new loop? Okay, what do I do now, essentially, right?
You quickly get out and hold down on your thruster. Okay, here we go, guys. Clock in. This time for real. Wait.
Right here. So this is Shortcat does this all the time. Do you guys know Shortcat, the Mario Kart 8 or the Mario Kart World YouTuber? Shortcat will make these he will also pop up text throughout the video as essentially opening up new little mini hooks, new little mini loops. And so by me saying the note he's about to hit when he lands inside is actually insane, I'm just opening another loop. I'm basically saying, hey, the short's not over yet and something crazy is about to happen. And you just need to wait for it.
Bing, bing, bong. Bing, 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 bong.
And then ending the short at the absolute climax of the short, ending it right there, I think is also important. Like ending it as soon as the good thing happens, you just end the short right away, right? So, but the point is, guys, what's the point? What's the key takeaway? Again, you remember how I said that the key takeaway in these short, if you want to just make a short from scratch, the key takeaway, the number one most important thing is you need to find a way to appeal to as many people as possible. So think about the thing you want to talk about. Find a way to hook people into caring about it as quickly as possible and as clearly as possible right away. They should understand right away what's about to be happening, right? It still applies to these. Even if you're not writing scripted intros, you still need to find a way to do it creatively with editing. Last example, guys. Last example out of all of them. Let's take a look. Let's take a look.
Field of View 90. No challenge listed on the game. Okay, has anyone played this game before? /J stare. We don't see anything? What about now? What about now?
The point is that this playthrough lasted like 30 something minutes. 32 minutes. This playthrough lasted 32 minutes. Like, to be totally transparent with you guys, I knew after I played this game, like I literally stopped streaming and I was like, oh my God, I have mapped out exactly what I want the short to be and I know that it's going to do well. Okay? But you have to recognize that. You know what I mean? You have to be able to recognize that. So the premise of this game is this. Let me skip really far ahead. Now, this game is old. But keep in mind, we started at 201, and me watching this at 2x speed, I had to think to myself, where do I want to start the short? Where do I want to start this short? Well, if you don't know anything about this game and you didn't see me play this game is essentially a puzzle game where you just draw one line from start to end. So you can see this. Let me put this in 1x speed. You can see... Right here, you just draw a line from start to end, okay? And it gets progressively harder. So if we skip ahead up here, you guys remember when that chatter said that I guess this is harder because you can't hit these barriers? Voice control. Did you guys remember that, or did you already forget about it? And then if we skip ahead even further, there's another one. It gets a little harder, right? And eventually we get to like stuff like this. It'll get harder and harder, right? But as I ended the stream, I thought to myself, I'm like, oh my God, I can tell such a good story by framing the short. So number one, you have to hook someone right away. You have to make even someone that's never played this game care about watching you play this game, okay? How can you hook someone? And I'm like, okay, if I show a couple of really easy examples to get people confident that they understand how the game works, and then I show them an impossible maze, it's going to be God tier retention, like God tier. But that is... No one told me to do that. It's something that I had to think of on my own. So from this game,
why would anyone...
Number one, I had to make sure that I started the short at a very engaging spot. It had to be very clear what the viewer was about to see, and I had to give them enough context to know what was about to happen. So this short got 29 million views. 29 million. I didn't know this was going to be my most viewed short of all time. I did not know that. But I knew that it was going to go mega viral. I knew it. And look at this. Even if I don't play the video, if I don't even hit play on the video, that went from easy to impossible so fast. Right away, That is a hook right there in and of itself. Immediately, that hooks you immediately. And I don't have to explain the game. I don't have to write an intro explaining the game because I'm just immediately showing you how the game works instantly. It's been 2 seconds. It's been 2 seconds. You know how the game works already. You understand what to do. You draw a line from start to end. You know that if you draw a line from start to end, you can progress forward. And I'm telling you right now that right now it's easy, but it's going to get really fucking hard. And you have to stick around to see what happens. Those two combinations right there, if the rest of the short was absolute dog shit, it still would have done well. I don't know if it would have done 29 million views well, but it still would have done well. Guys, watch this voice control. Wait, what if this is like the scary maze game where if you accidentally hit the boundaries, the exorcist face pops up? Wait, this is oh wait, never mind. Wait, hang on, I have a question. Yeah, so why am I doing all this when I could just do this? You know what I mean? Like wait, can you Pac-Man? This is so important. This is so important. Look at this. So the most difficult maze that I showed everyone was here. And then I made it seem like the very next maze was the one that you're seeing right here. But look how much footage I cut out. I had to cut out how much footage? We're at 206 right here. And the time that we actually show right now, we're at 206:21, right? The time that we actually show up to this maze is 2:13:22. You know what I mean? Like I deliberately cut 6 minutes of footage because I wanted to make it seem like we were going from easy to impossible really, really fast. 18 seconds into the short, you know exactly how the game works. You understand that the game is getting harder. And then out of nowhere, I deliberately skipped a whole bunch of stuff to make it seem like it became impossible immediately. You know what I mean? What? Bro, I'm literally like the guys on the mobile game ads. You know what I mean? Like, that's literally what I'm acting like right now without even knowing it. But it just works so well. Huh? Cover the entire thing in red? I don't think that's the case. Wait, this is not possible. I love that sound effect, by the way. Wait, you can draw on the wire? Wait. Guys, I might try Pirate Software this one. Realize. Guys. And then wait. And then the short's over. So right away, we hit end and the short's over right away. As soon as you know people are going to swipe away, the short ends. Okay, guys, what's the takeaway? What's the takeaway? The point is, it doesn't matter if you're making a short, if you're making a short that you want to create. It doesn't matter if you're taking stuff from your live stream. Sometimes, guys, I literally just sit there and think to myself, where is the best place to start this short? And most of the time it works, but you can go to my channel and you can see some videos that didn't do very well because like just not enough people cared. You know what I mean? And it happens. But like if you're being very deliberate about this and you're keeping that in mind, you need to hook people as fast as possible, make it clear what they're about to see, keep a reason for them to keep watching until the end of the short, you know what I mean? Then there's no way you can fail. Especially if you do like, 30 shorts, there's just no way you're not going to fail. Now, disclaimer, people that subscribe to you from shorts will not watch any other thing that you upload. And if you want to gain an audience that watches you for you, do not do shorts, okay? But if you, like I had one of my friends that's trying to do YouTube and he's like, I just want to feel what it feels like to have a short blow up. If you want to feel what that feels like, just follow this. Like just do that one thing. Literally do that one thing and just keep track of what's working and what's not working. And I promise to God, it doesn't matter that you're not good at editing or that you're not good at whatever. Like, I promise to God, if you're just keeping this one thing in mind, you will be able to make videos go viral. At least one of them. If you make like 15 or 20 of them, you'll at least make one of them go viral. Guys, and here's the thing, by the way, here's the thing. I love talking about content. I love it. Like, genuinely, I think it's so interesting and so enjoyable. I think it's so fun. But the thing is that the things that work, like the things that you have to do to work and make your videos go viral and make sure your channel has success is it's boring. Like, it's not something fun. There is no 4 tips. Do these 4 things. Check this 1 box and the YouTube algorithm will start pushing your videos. No, you gotta do the boring stuff. You gotta show up and do the boring stuff. And guys, this has been my Trev Talk.